You think the desert is just sand, sunburn, and heat stroke waiting to happen. You imagine tumbleweeds, dehydration, and maybe one lonely gas station with suspicious beef jerky. But then you arrive, and suddenly, the air is electric. The sunsets are apocalyptic. The silence, deafening in the best way. Welcome to the drylands, where beauty blooms in places no one expected, and cities rise like mirages, but with craft coffee and mid-century modern heirlooms. This isn't just about surviving the heat. It's about thriving in it. These are the 15 charming desert cities in the USA. And by the end, you might find yourself wondering why you ever thought greenery was all that great. But before moving on, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video to help it reach more people. Number 1. Henderson, Nevada. The mere mention of Nevada may bring the flashy lights of Las Vegas to mind, but just 16 miles southeast sits a place that will completely redefine your understanding of desert living. Henderson, with a population of just over 300,000, offers a tranquil counterbalance to Vegas nightlife while still granting you quick access to the entertainment capital of the world whenever you crave a splash of that neon glitz. This city receives over 300 days of sunshine a year, so there's no shortage of ways to enjoy the outdoors, whether that's walking scenic trails around Lake Las Vegas, teeing off at one of the numerous golf courses, or simply strolling to the manicured parks that the community. Summer temperatures can sizzle into triple digits, but the desert's low humidity keeps it more comfortable than you'd think, and near constant sunshine means you'll rarely have to scramble for a raincoat. Number 2. Marfa, Texas. This tiny West Texas treasure might make you feel as if you stepped straight into the pages of an offbeat art magazine. Marfa, with a population hovering around 1,900, seamlessly merges the stark beauty of the Chihuahuan Desert with a quirky cultural buzz that's impossible to ignore. One moment you'll be gazing at the sprawling desert vistas. The next you'll stumble upon a giant art installation in the shape of a Prada store standing in the middle of nowhere. It's the kind of place where the landscape is so wide open, you can't help but sense possibility everywhere you look. And the night skies are so unpolluted by city lights that stargazing becomes a near sacred ritual. Temperatures can top 90 degrees in the summer, but nights cool off dramatically, especially when a desert breeze sweeps in. Winters rarely see snow, but when they do, the adobe-style buildings take on an almost storybook quality under a dusting of white. Number 3. Sedona, Arizona. If a painting could come to life and envelop you in warm crimson hues, it would look and feel a lot like Sedona, tucked amid towering red rock formations. Sedona has a modest population of around 10,000, yet it draws millions of visitors each year who come to soak in its famed vortex energy spots. People swear they can feel a deep sense of spiritual rejuvenation among the wind-carved cliffs, and whether you believe in those mystic vibes or not, the heart-stopping beauty of the landscape is undeniable. Sunsets here are so intense you'll be tempted to snap a photo every evening, only to realize you simply can't capture the actual grandeur on camera. Summers peak in the mid-90s, but once the sun dips behind the red rocks, the heat relinquishes its hold, and the evenings become perfect for leisurely strolls. Homes in Sedona hover around a steep $950,000 median price, and if you're opting to rent, you could pay more than $2,000 a month for a one-bedroom. That high cost is partly due to the short supply. This is a small, highly coveted place, after all, and partly due to its long-standing reputation as a healing haven. Utilities around $160 monthly might feel standard for an Arizona community, and groceries remain fairly competitive. Healthcare is reliable, with Verde Valley Medical Center offering essential services. But living here is about more than just costs. On the weekends, you can hike trails like Cathedral Rock or Devil's Bridge, both of which will remind you why Sedona is often hailed as one of the most visually stunning places in the entire country. There's also an undercurrent of artistic flair, with galleries showcasing work influenced by the desert environment and local Native American culture. When you need a recharge, the city has an abundance of spa retreats and yoga studios, all focusing on mindfulness and holistic well-being. If you're seeking a slower pace of life paired with unforgettable outdoor adventures and a dash of spiritual mystique, Sedona is a desert paradise that will stir your soul every single day. Number 4. El Paso, Texas. Perched on the tip of West Texas and bordering both New Mexico and Mexico, El Paso sits at the crossroads of cultures, cuisines, and desert landscapes. With a population of over 670,000, it's far from small, yet somehow maintains a warm, community-focused energy. Over 300 days of sunshine per year grace the Sun City, and the Franklin Mountains practically watch over the downtown skyline, making for a jaw-dropping view whenever you venture outside. Summers can be hot, pushing well beyond 90 degrees, but the dryness makes it more tolerable, and winters are mild, often hovering in the 50s and 60s. Number 5. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Prepare for an enchantment that goes well beyond what postcards depict. Santa Fe, often called the City Different, sits at an elevation of 7,000 feet, where the air is crisp, the summers are temperate, and the adobe architecture seems to blend into the very hillsides. Home to roughly 88,000 residents, Santa Fe is known worldwide for its galleries, museums, and festivals devoted to everything from folk art to Spanish market traditions. You might catch a flamenco performance in a small plaza one evening, then find yourself strolling through a gallery featuring contemporary installations the next morning, all while enveloped by the earthy scent of pinyon smoke drifting from nearby fireplaces. Homes here average around $600,000, and rentals can hover near $1,800 for a two-bedroom place, reflecting the high demand in this artistic haven. That said, local groceries and utilities, around $150 monthly, remain manageable. Summers rarely exceed the mid-80s, and winters bring light snow that transforms the city into a cozy winter wonderland. Santa Fe India Market and the International Folk Art Market are massive events that draw creators and collectors from around the globe, adding a refreshing bustle to this otherwise laid-back locale. Food is a near religion here, with locals and visitors alike debating the merits of red versus green chili sauce. Healthcare stands out, thanks to Christus St. Vincent Regional Medical Center and other specialized clinics. While the city's crime rates can trend slightly higher than national averages in certain areas, neighborhoods like Tesuque and El Dorado are known for their tranquility and strong community ties. Ultimately, what sets Santa Fe apart is its ability to fuse centuries of tradition, Native American, Spanish colonial, Mexican, into a modern tapestry. If you've ever daydreamed of wandering through winding streets lined with adobe walls, discovering a new piece of art, and finishing your day under a glowing southwestern sunset, Santa Fe might just be the desert city that captures your heart. Number 6. Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Situated along the shimmering Colorado River, Lake Havasu City is where desert meets water oasis, and the result is pure magic. This is a place that takes the concept of 300-plus days of sunshine very seriously. With a population of about 58,000, it feels lively, yet never chaotic. The real showstopper is, of course, the lake itself, which draws boaters, anglers, and jet skiers from all over the region. Yes, you read that right. A full-blown water sports paradise in the middle of the desert. And then there's the iconic London Bridge, purchased from England and reconstructed here, adding a curious dash of European charm to the southwestern scenery. Number 7. Moab, Utah. If Mars had a charming small town at its center, it might look a lot like Moab. Home to around 5,300 people, this gateway to Arches and Canyonlands National Parks is an absolute playground for adrenaline junkies and nature lovers alike. Everywhere you turn, you're greeted by towering red rock arches, winding canyons, and trails that beckon off-road enthusiasts to rev up their ATVs. Hiking, mountain biking, whitewater rafting. If it gets your heart pounding, you can find it here. The summer heat can hit the mid-90s, and winters, while mild, can dip down to the 30s at night. But there's something spiritual about a crisp, quiet morning in this otherworldly terrain, where the rust-red cliffs glow under a rising sun. Number 8. Bisbee, Arizona. Some people call Bisbee the quirkiest town in the Southwest, and once you see it perched high in the Mule Mountains, you'll know exactly why. Originally a booming mining camp, Bisbee has transformed into an artsy haven with a population of about 5,200. You'll find Victorian homes perched on steep hillsides, kaleidoscopic murals splashed onto alley walls, and winding staircases that connect the entire place like a real-life labyrinth. Summers generally hover in the high 80s, making it cooler than other Arizona locales, and nights invite a gentle breeze that slides through the canyons. Number 9. Las Cruces, New Mexico. Nestled in the fertile Mesilla Valley, Las Cruces is proof that deserts can flourish in unexpected ways. Home to around 100,000 people, this city sits at the intersection of culture, agriculture, and natural splendor. The Oregon Mountains dominate the skyline, their jagged peaks looking as though some giant sculptor was at work, and they set the stage for world-class hiking and wildlife watching. With over 300 days of sunshine per year, you'll rarely have to worry about a washout weekend. The climate is generally mild, although summers can reach the mid-90s. Winter nights cool off significantly, making it ideal for cozying up with a bowl of legendary Hatch Green chili stew. Number 10. Palm Springs, California. When you think of desert chic, Palm Springs is likely the first city that comes to mind. With a year-round population of around 45,000, this famed Coachella Valley hotspot swells in the cooler months as sun-seeking visitors arrive in droves. Here, palm trees tower over mid-century modern architecture, and the mountainous backdrop looks like it's been handcrafted by a Hollywood set designer. Temperatures in the peak of summer soar to 110 degrees or more, but it's that bone-dry heat that's far easier to handle than muggy climates. The reward for enduring those scorching days? Incredible winter weather that rarely dips below 70 degrees, meaning you can lounge by the pool in January without a second thought. Number 11. St. George, Utah. Brimming with rust-red rock formations, St. George is often described as the gateway to Zion National Park. But it's so much more than just a launch pad for weekend adventures. With around 100,000 residents, this city might be growing quickly, yet it holds fast to a warm, community-oriented spirit. Temperatures shoot above 100 degrees in the summer, but with over 255 sunny days a year, you can't complain about gloomy weather. Winters stay mild, often just enough chill to make you appreciate the region's location between red desert cliffs and lush farmland. You'll never want for scenic drives. Take a spin through Snow Canyon State Park, and you'll swear you've stepped onto another planet. Home prices average around $475,000, but you'll find a range to suit various budgets, especially if you branch out to nearby communities. Utilities, roughly $150 a month, can climb higher in summer as air conditioning units churn away. But that's a small price to pay to live in an area known for its exhilarating landscapes. St. George is a thriving local culture, complete with cafes, farm-to-table restaurants, and a budding craft beer scene. Healthcare is excellent for a city of its size, thanks to Intermountain Healthcare's strong presence, and families often rave about the quality of education in the Washington County School District. Crime rates stay about 22% below the national average, letting you breathe easy while you explore downtown shops or bike along the extensive trail system. If you're longing for a desert hub that perfectly balances modern amenities with direct access to some of the most jaw-dropping outdoor spots on Earth, St. George will more than satisfy your craving for sunshine, community, and endless adventure. Number 12. Scottsdale, Arizona. Known for its upscale resorts and more golf courses than you can shake a 9-iron at, Scottsdale often conjures images of perpetual pool parties under swaying palm trees. With around 250,000 residents, it's not exactly small, but its pockets of extravagant luxury make it feel like a sun-drenched playground for those who love the high life. Temperatures can easily exceed 100 degrees in the summer, which is when you'll find locals retreating to the nearest oasis-like pool or cranking up the AC inside modern, sprawling homes. Winters, however, are dreamlike, basking in mid-70s perfection while the rest of the country shivers. Number 13. Tucson, Arizona. If Scottsdale is a flashy cousin, Tucson is the soulful desert dweller whose heritage runs deep. With around 550,000 residents, Tucson flows at a more relaxed pace, but loses none of the charm and culture that make the Sonoran Desert so compelling. Over 280 days of sun per year means you can trade your umbrella for a stylish sun hat. The thermometer does sometimes climb into the triple digits, but that dryness turns even a scorching day into something far less suffocating than humid climates. Once the sun sets, a cool breeze often sweeps through the cacti forest, making evenings feel downright pleasant. You can still find homes around $350,000, and renting a snug apartment might cost $1,200 per month, which is refreshingly affordable for a city of this size. Utilities stick near $140, and groceries remain reasonable, with a gallon of milk often at about $3 and change. Tucson is famous for its mouth-watering Mexican-inspired cuisine. The city even earned a UNESCO City of Gastronomy nod, thanks to dishes like the heavenly Sonoran hot dog, a bacon-wrapped Frank pile high with beans, salsa, and jalapenos. Number 14. Prescott, Arizona. Imagine a place that feels part Old West, part laid-back mountain town, surrounded by tall pines and glimmering lakes, yet still very much defined by its high desert location. That's Prescott. Perched at 5,300 feet elevation, this city of roughly 45,000 residents provides a literal breath of fresh air compared to lower elevation Arizona communities. While Phoenix may scorch at 110 degrees in the summer, Prescott often hovers around a pleasant 85. Winters can bring a bit of snow, around a foot annually, but it's usually just enough to dust the pine trees and make the landscape sparkle. The median home price sits around $480,000, with property taxes at reasonable 0.62%. Utilities often hover near $150 per month, a fair deal for a climate that can swing from sizzling summers to chilly winters. Downtown Prescott, with its historic Whiskey Row, brims with nostalgia that conjures up visions of cowboys and old saloons, even as modern craft breweries and boutiques the sidewalks. The city also boasts more than 400 miles of trails for hiking, biking, and horseback riding, many of which skirt around scenic lakes like Watson Lake and Lynx Lake. Schools in the area frequently rank among the top in the state, and health care is provided by Dignity Health Yavapai Regional Medical Center. With crime rates about 40% lower than the national average, Prescott has become an appealing spot for retirees seeking a quiet life and for families drawn to its safe streets and abundance of outdoor activities. If your ideal evening includes a sunset walk beneath towering ponderosa pines, followed by a stroll through historic downtown straight out of a Western, Prescott delivers that with an effortless charm. It's desert living that adds a twist of mountain magic to mix, offering the best of both worlds. Number 15. Joshua Tree, California. Few places on Earth feel quite as surreal as Joshua Tree, a small community near the entrance to Joshua Tree National Park, where twisted yucca trees stand guard in a landscape of giant boulders. With a population of roughly 7,500, this high desert enclave has captured the imagination of artists, musicians, and spiritual seekers who flock here for the quiet mysticism and open horizons. Summer days can spike to around 100 degrees, but the elevation close to 2,700 feet takes a slight edge off the heat, and evenings tend to cool down quickly. Winters can actually get chilly, dipping into the low 40s at night, which might surprise those expecting year-round blazing sunshine. Housing options range from quirky, bohemian cabins to modern architectural marvels blending into the rocky terrain. The median home price around $330,000 feels accessible for Southern California standards, although short-term vacation rentals have pushed some costs upward. Utilities hover near $130 monthly, but you'll definitely want to keep an eye on that AC in the summer. Because of its location, groceries can cost a bit more than in nearby cities. But the weekly farmers markets overflow with local produce that thrives under the desert sun. Though small, the local scene is big on creativity. You'll find art galleries, music venues, and communal gatherings that make you feel like you've stumbled into a secret desert society. Joshua Tree National Park is the crown jewel, offering miles of surreal hiking trails and stargazing opportunities that border on the magical. Healthcare is limited in town, but more comprehensive facilities can be found in Yucca Valley or Palm Springs, both within driving distance. Crime rates remain relatively low, and the sense of community is high, strengthened by shared love for the desert's raw beauty. If you've ever longed for a place where time slows, the horizon stretches forever and creativity flows as freely as the warm wind, Joshua Tree stands ready to welcome you with open arms and endless starry nights. And there you have it. A desert tour that shows just how varied, intriguing, and irresistible life can be when the sun is your constant companion. Whether you're drawn to the mystical energy of Sedona's vortexes, craving Marfa's quirky art vibe, seeking Henderson's suburban meets adventure lifestyle, or dreaming of teeing off in Scottsdale's endless golf courses, These 15 desert cities hold the promise of a life defined by sunny days, star-spangled nights, and a constant sense of possibility. So, still think the desert is just dust and sunburns? Or are you already looking at real estate listings? From off-grid art towns to oasis metropolises, the American desert isn't empty. It's epic, and it's waiting for you to wake up one day, ditch the gray weather, and say, "Screw it, I'm moving to the desert." Just don't forget your sunscreen. Whether it's Santa Fe, Palm Springs, or Prescott, now's the time to act. Subscribe for more wanderlust journeys. Like if you feel that desert breeze and calm in your dream retreat, let's explore together, chasing sun, stars, and the magic hidden in every desert horizon.